Hey everybody, how's it going today? How are you today? This is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, aka Beast Mode, Airborne, the guy with the mini MOS. As you can tell, I just don't wear these for fun, guys. I earned them, and I enjoyed my service, whether it be combat engineer, civil engineer, infantry, quartermaster through water treatment, and civil affairs, under special operations command. Guys, I've done a little bit of everything except what I really wanted to do. And you know I want to do that tab stuff. But hey, that's for the young and the bold. When I was young then, I just couldn't beat the cut. But anyway, guys, I'm here to talk to you about something else that relates to my military career. And many of you guys who serve can relate. And I'm going to reach out to my fellow veterans, my fellow soldiers that's still in, and many of the people who are still on duty, reserve, National Guard. You know, guys, I can relate to, I understand what you're going through and what you've been through because I have served along with you. Many of my brothers in the Navy, I served with the CB brothers. Those CBs work, okay? Don't take it for granted. The engineers, you build and fight. I have a great deal of respect for you. My Red Horse brother, who I am a Red Horse too, I did serve in the Air Force 3.5 years in Red Horse in the Air National Guard. Loved every bit of it, guys. But and my brothers Marines, hey, you guys are the best. I enjoy serving with many of you. Hey, many of y'all got a little thing going on, and that's good because for the job you do, you have to have that little that goes with it. Just like us grunts, we got that you'll get it spirit. So I want to talk to each and every one of you about a subject matter that, again, that is important to you. That's as much as it's important to me. For us National Guards and reservists, Reserve Force, AGR, is highly imperative. And same thing with active duty components, okay? Regular Army active duty components as well. And that is to have your mobilization package. We're living in an age that more at times up to past Iraqi freedom and enduring freedom with Afghanistan, mobilization and deployment was a thing of the norm, okay? And when your unit is being tagged for mobilization or deployment, there's some things that you got to keep in mind. And I'm speaking to you from a former officer point of view who've been there, done that as a lieutenant who was mobilization officers. I've been a mobilization officer for a while, over almost 4 years in the command, okay? And I enjoyed the experience I gathered from mobilization because I really have a grasp of the importance of mobilization. Number one, we have to make sure that your care package, which consists of what? Your family care plan. Your family care plan consists of what, soldiers? Your will. Every soldier that served in the United States military has a what? A will. And must have one. Should have one. Not should have, must have. Go to JAG, get your will done, right? Okay? That's what we used to do. Go to JAG or go to an attorney and get a will done and have it notarized. Correct? All right. Number two, POA, a general power of attorney. I forgot what they call them now, but it's a power of attorney. And I want my brothers and sisters of arms to understand the power of the power of attorney. You want to leave your home in good order as if you are still there. Because in many cases, especially when it comes to finance, and I'm not giving advice, I'm not an attorney, and I'm not a financial advisor. That you get with your attorney, get with your financial advisor, get with your tax advisor for details, okay? But I'm sharing general information to you from a mobilization officer point of view, okay? These are the things my soldiers, I expect my soldiers in my command, in my platoon, in my brigade to have, okay? These are the things we need. We need a family care plan because when you deployed, guys, you got to have that will. You got to have that POA. That POA protects your spouse or your significant other from hardship. You understand what I'm saying? You're protecting your children from hardship. Whatever decision that you make, and depending on how the situation is, that family care plan will protect your family and then give them access to what you need when you're deployed or when you're in a hospice situation. Because a lot of guys come back from downrange, a lot of them got hurt. Many of them may be incapacitated or unconscious or in a coma, and they can't make decisions, or they're mentally in a situation where they can't make decisions because of brain injuries. That power of attorney makes life so much better for that significant other. Understand? I have seen soldiers in Walter Reed Hospital at the time, it was called Walter Reed Army Medical Center, and at Fort Bragg, Womack, they have issues. And they cannot make decisions. They don't know who they are, and they don't know who you are. But they have children. They have a spouse. And that power of attorney allows that spouse to work and make decisions in their behalf. Now, now speaking also, jumping to the VA side, fast forward, and that's had nothing to do with the family care plan I'm talking about, but this is just as much as important, is having a advanced directive. I go to the VA every day, every time I have my appointments, and I go to some cases, maybe 3 appointments a week, sometimes 4 appointments a week, separate just about every day. And some of my appointments, are pretty much consistent. And they ask me the same question. Do you have an advanced directive? Do you have before I have a surgery, do you have an advanced directive, Mr. Arnold? Do you have an advanced directive? Every time I go to an appointment, do you have you got your shots? Okay, I'm going to ask that. Do you have an advanced directive? Do you feel like killing yourself? Do you feel like you've been harmed? Are you in danger? That sort of situation. But the thing that stick to my mind is advanced directive. Okay, now let's go back to my family, to the mobilization officer side. Okay, that package is supposed to have, again, POA, will, what else? All right, because it's inspecting, it's a checklist. Okay, got your point of contact, got your medical records in there, because you got it. In order to mobilize, you got to be what? At a state of readiness. You got to have your PT test. You have to have your pass your APFT. That's what we used to call it, APFT, Army Physical Fitness test. We used to call it that. What else do we have in there? Okay, power attorney, will, PT test, and your physical. Because if you're not physically able to deploy, you're non-deployable. Once you classify as non-deployable, and the deal, then they go to the next part about, okay, we won't probably med board you out if you're non-deployable. It's not always the same cases. Every case is different. I've been through that situation where I was non-deployable. I've been in a situation where I was going through the med board process and they never finished because my orders ended and I was PCS to another place. I could have just gone back and say, well, I want to continue it in this location. Probably could. Don't know. It's too late for me on that aspect, in that point, and rather that. Maybe not. I don't know. But my job is to make sure every soldier's packet, okay, everything is signed, everything is checked off. So when deployment orders comes through, the command or the commanders can make a decision and say, my unit is ready for deployment. We're 80% ready for deployment. We're 90% ready for deployment, or maybe we're 60% ready for deployment. We just got to get these soldiers MOS qualified, updated, or get them a physical, or they got to take their APFT, or get their family care plan updated. Things can happen. Spouse passed away, got to get it updated. Children graduated, went to college, got to get it updated. There's a number of reasons why you should keep your family care plan up to date. Now, which leads to this. Also, when you leave the military, a lot of us take that family care plan idea and throw it out the window. What do I mean? when you leave the military, get out, do your 3 years, or you do your 20 years and you retire, you don't think about family care plan anymore because your kids are grown or you're out of the military service. You don't think about, hey, I need to maintain a will. I need to maintain a power of attorney. I need to maintain an advance directive. Because an advance directive allows your family to say, Doc said we done all we could, and say we're going to unplug you, or we're just going to make you feel comfortable and then let you go. Because, you know, we can make that decision. What the advance directive does is ensure that your voice is heard. You say, hey, don't let them kill me. Don't let them cut it off. Your family will say, we're going to fight for him to stay alive. Without that advance directive from you, signed by you, your family do not have a say. So did you know that? Okay. So this is where I'm getting at. After saying all that, the plan that you need today is an estate plan, which is basically almost similar to the mobilization plan. You're not mobilized except to protect your current living and your post living. Because now that you own a car, now that you own a house, you have some assets that need protected. You got finance, you got a bank account, a savings account, you got a 401k plan. You got dozens of things, guys, that can be taken from your family if you do not have the right plan. So I'm advocating for you to encourage you to get is what it called a estate plan. What is called an estate plan. Now, what this estate plan does include, what I just mentioned, a will, okay? It does include a advance directive. It does include a POA, okay? Power of attorney. You need a power of attorney for health. You need a power of attorney for finances, like dealing with your credit cards, your mortgages, your bank accounts, and so to speak. Because you're married, and I learned this from my dad. And I'm gonna tell you something. My dad passed away. He has no plan. He has no power of attorney. He had at the time he died of his death. He had no advance directive to keep him fighting, keep the medical team fighting for him. He had no family care to protect his property, power of estate, to protect his property, like his home, or to protect his checking account, or his side of the checking account. Anything that he has outside the side of the stuff that him and his wife got together, it will have to go to probate court. And probate court, it costs a fortune to fight. And a lot of times people just don't have that kind of money to fight a probate court. That's what I emphasize to everybody. Have a plan, an estate plan in place. Like I tell my soldiers, have a family care plan. List your family, your child's age, your wife's age. You have your children information on there. Have a will. Have beneficiaries already set up, so when you pass away during deployment, your family are taken care of. The same way you need a estate plan to protect and take care of your family in your behalf. All your wishes are done through your behalf in an estate. Does you got to be rich to have an estate? Heck no. You do not need to be rich to own an estate. I am so thankful, and I'm here to tell you guys, and it just boomed right in my head about this because, a friend of mine told me about the estate plan, and I went ahead and got it done. I finally got it done. I finally got things lined up where my adult children don't have to fight or argue about anything, about my property, how my stuff going to be distributed. They don't have to worry about nothing. Okay? It's done. Bank account, regardless, my wife have full access to my bank account. I mean, we cannot assume that your wife have access to your finances or your retirement. We cannot assume that anymore. My mother, my stepmother or mother, she went through hell when my father died. And I hope if somebody in my family listening in, hey guys, please don't argue and get mad at me because I'm sharing some personal stuff. I'm not giving you a security clearance and saying this is top secret information Tony's sharing. No, this is for every family, including you. Every family in America should have a plan. Every family in America, and I'm here to tell you guys, and I'm bringing the tears because I'm thinking about my dad. He had nothing. He had absolutely nothing. My uncles didn't have nothing. My grandma didn't have nothing. You couldn't pass on it. And if you did have property, let me tell you something. If you do have property and you written it, and you may not, and you pass away, and you may not have a will. You may not have an estate. But what I'm finding out, people will come out of nowhere and say, that's my property, get out. And they can do that. They can put your stuff through probate, take you to court, win, and you're out of there. Because you don't have an estate plan. Get with your attorney. He'll tell you. You need an estate plan. Get with any attorney. He'll tell you what I'm telling you is right. I'm not an attorney. So I'm not giving you advice. You go to your attorney and get advice from them. You go to your financial planner who look at your account every day and you ask them, do I need an estate plan? Okay? You ask them. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, yes, you do. But how much? Look how much it would cost you if you don't. If you allow the Commonwealth of Virginia to make the decision for you, for your family. It will not be pretty. It will be very costly. Like an attorney always tell me, it's all cost you very much. It'll cost you. It'll be very costly in this case, and it will cost you this much money. They're in business to make money. They're in business to make a profit. They're in business as a lawyer, someone who graduated from law school and got their credentials, not only graduate, but also passed the bar to do a job that you can't do. But there's a way that you can obtain an estate without an attorney. There's a way, and if you like information, I'll share the information with you because it's legitimate. It's real. I got it done, got it notarized, got my financial institution to look at it, I got medical to look at it, and it's passed. It went through with flying colors. My wishes is going to come true. Okay? And this is the best way to do it, especially if you have more than one child in your household or you have a number of properties. Some of you got property. Some of you are own businesses. How do you want your business divided up? How do you want your business wishes to keep going, or are you going to sell it? Those decisions you're going to make yourself. You want to prepare, like I tell my truth, we're going to prepare for mobilization. You want to prepare yourself and your family. You need a living will. You need a living trust, a certified trust. Why? Because if you become mentally incapacitated, decisions still going to have to be made, with or without you. You have a stroke tomorrow, and there's another program I help you with that too. But anyway, that's another story. You can have a stroke today and be totally incapacitated. Somebody's going to have to make decisions on how your medical treatment is going to go. And that's for real. You maybe have a business and you already verbally told somebody and said, well, when I go or I'm able to do it, you're in charge. Well, let me tell you something. Unless you put that thing in writing through a trust, it means absolutely nothing. Somebody can come out of town, and it happened a few times. I was watching this one movie, and against you hear people talk to, where this person from nowhere showed up and claimed the inheritance. Why? Because they put it through probate. They challenged the will, and it went through probate. I'm not saying, go ask your attorney, can it go through probate? Ask them about probate. Probate is not, it's nothing to play with, guys, because it will make your life a living challenge. And I'm here to tell you guys, from an officer point of view, lieutenant, or the point of view, and NCO, because I've been both. You want to have your stuff together for your family. Don't be selfish, especially when you own property like a car, house, or your own materialistic property of value. You don't want to take the chance to leave them nothing. It's nothing more frustrating when a chaplain comes to the family and the family's crying because they felt like they've been cheated, and they're crying. It's like, okay, what can I help you with? How can I help you? What do you need? We lost everything. You don't want to hear that. He left us nothing. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that from a mom and saying, after 40 years, my husband left me absolutely nothing. He gave it all away to his girlfriend. You know, you understand the story. You want to have your estate, your family in a good place when you go, when you become living. You're still living. You're just incapacitated to make decisions. A stroke can do that. Heart attack can do that. Dementia could do that. And you know, dementia is like widespread, and people need a plan where they're sharp, because once dementia or a sickness set in that causes you to be labeled as a person who may not make decisions, and you don't have a power of attorney already in place, a medical power of attorney and a financial power of attorney, in my opinion, you pretty much leave your family in a vulnerable situation where they have no access to your funds. True story, and I experienced it with my family and with my dad. No access. You can spend your part of the checking account, but you can't spend his. All your property now belongs to the state. Well, because you own more than one house. And Medicaid is not going to pay for anything unless you own one house. You got to sell it. Because you're incapacitated, you can't sell it. How are you going to sell it? How are you going to liquidate assets when you're unable to do it yourself and you have nothing in place to do it? That is a failure to provide state of readiness for your family. And I'm here to tell you guys, in the state will make a big difference, and for a little less cost. Now, here's the thing: I know some people who can help you. I can point you to on a conversation on the phone, who can point you in the right direction. I know a few things that can help you get in the right direction for what you need, especially you own a number of businesses, you're a marketer, or you're in direct marketing, or you direct sales, you have or a business account, but you need a trust. I mean, you just need it. You need an estate trust. You need a certified trust. And I'm saying all in one language because it's all in one. And I'll tell you, when I got mine, it was the best decision. I wish I'd done this years ago, but I'm so thankful my wife and I made this decision to obtain a living trust. So if anything ever happens to one of us, nobody has to make decisions. It's already been made. It's already been made. Nobody gonna have to kill each other, fight and scream, because it's already been made. Leadership has already been chosen. The state has already been chosen. We don't like to talk about it, but you need to talk about it now, because talking about tomorrow is too late. Putting it off is too late. I've seen it all the time. I saw it when I was in one lifestyle. I was doing one thing, and then as a chaplain, I saw it in another thing. It's not a fun feeling, especially as you're a pastor and you got a congregation of people, and even yourself as a pastor. Something happens to you, and you're a pastor. You own a ministry, and something happens to you. Who's that? Where that ministry going to go to? Or something happened to you and your wife. Who is that ministry going to go to? How going to keep it going? Or who's going to keep your business going? If you don't have things laid out in a trust, I'm here to tell you, the state will make the decision for you. The state will take it, will distribute it or not distribute it. Because the state, Commonwealth, can make a decision without your permission, without a trust. Get yourself a trust. I don't care who you go to. I don't care if you come to me and say, hey, Brother Arnold, Reverend Arnold, point me in the right direction. Or you go and do it yourself. Get yourself a trust. I've been in mobilization, and I tell soldiers, get your Mo packet ready. I'm going to inspect next month get your stuff, get with me this week, get with me tomorrow, and I'll sit down and go over your packet with you. You don't go over a packet and something happens and they looking and you looking at my face frowning, crying, wishing you have this stuff done, or your family come crying saying you went to deployment and something happens to you, it's not the Army's fault. It's not the Air Force fault. It's not the Marines' fault. It's not the commander's fault. You made a decision not to have your stuff squared away. But it's their responsibility to make sure you do that. And if you duck and hide, and you didn't get it done, and tag your it, and you're over here, and God who knows when, and something happens to you, and you're physically or mentally unable to make decisions, your family's in trouble. And the moment you got on that plane with your A-bag, your family's already in trouble anyway, because the simple reason you didn't left your wife a POA to make sure bills are paid, make sure all the other concerns are done. I see guys stress their heck out for nothing because they did not plan for success. It's not a fun feeling being out there, being in the field, training exercise, or being out there in deployment, or being out on a mission. I've been on some missions. And there's some state missions. There's missions that's not always deployable. There's missions, like this border crossing. You send a bunch of guys to a border to do a mission. They have to leave their families. They got to have their family support plan in place before they go. Or their family will say, I have no access. I go to the bank and say, I need to make a draw so I can pay my bill. And they'll say, the bank will say, do you have your husband power of attorney? And you say you don't. And guess what? There's nothing we can do for you. And all his checks going there, but his house falling apart. Don't leave your families, your children in a mess because you didn't have a plan. It's the same thing I'm saying about this plan, about the estate plan. Don't leave your family state of readiness in a mess. Okay? I just want to share that with you because I seen it happen. I seen it happen in my own family. I'm upset. The more I think about it, the more passionate to share with you. And that's why I had to make some phone calls to make sure I get clearance to talk about this. Because it's important that you and your family have the best plan available. Whether you're on military or you're out of the military or you're just a regular civilian. Every person that's working, you buy your first home, buy your first car, your financing, any type of thing. You need a plan. You got children, you need a plan. You got a wife, spouse, you got a significant other, you need a plan. You need benefit. You don't have any beneficiary for insurance to tell the insurance company, this person is anything happens to me, this person's in charge. You have nothing. You're asking for failure. You're asking for challenges on them. We're all one stroke away from we're all one step to getting a stroke. We're all one step to having dementia. We're all one step to having a mental illness or a mental breakdown where we cannot function or make decisions. Guys, I'm here to tell you, get your plan today. Get with somebody. Get with me. I'll point you in the right direction. I'll point you to whoever. I'll pick up the phone and say, hey, are you available? Let's schedule an appointment. So that individual can coach you through the process, okay? Because there is a process. There is a step-by-step. A lot of it's self-done and it's backed by people above my pay grade who got licensed. They the one who to make the decision. They the one who put this thing out. So I'm here to tell you guys, do it. If you're not for yourself, do it for your family. Please do not be selfish because I've seen so many families suffer that don't have to suffer. And being in the ministry and have been in pastor ministry, been in chaplain ministry, it's hard to swallow every day when you see families suffer the way they did because somebody didn't plan ahead. All right. Anyway, guys, I hope all is well. Hope you're having a good day. I'm sitting here waiting on my wife, Sheila. I may come back and talk about something else that's important because as a veteran, you go through a lot. And I am the author of The Art of Filing for Veterans Disability Benefits. I share information through my book, how you can maximize and obtain disability benefit if you serve in the military with honorable discharge, or obtain some of the things you may need for your quality of life through you, to help you through your disabilities, okay? And also and that's through that book, all right? It's on Amazon. But the other thing is too, and like I said, I'm gonna talk about it later. Right now, my focus and topic is about the state of readiness, about you and your family. Because you're no longer serving, doesn't mean you're still not responsible to stay maintain a state of readiness, just in case, guys, something happens to you when you're able to make decisions. Something happens to you where your life, all life is going to end someday, but we want to leave treasures to our families, not hardship. The Bible teaches us to leave an inheritance to our children's children, right? That's what the Bible teaches us, right? That's what it says. What I'm sharing with you is just how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. I preach it all the time when I was pastor, and I'm preaching it now as just sharing information. If you have any questions, just give me a call, message me. But however, I will not answer legal questions, because that's for your attorney. Financial questions, that's for your financial advisor or your tax accountant or your accountant, your certified accountant. You go to them, okay? All I do is provide information. You make your final decision. If you want to protect your assets, you follow what I just shared, or you just go right ahead and get with me. I'll connect you to the people who can help you and get you going, who can share with you what's needed to be done. It's that simple as that, okay? Well, how much it costs? Well, how much do you value your estate? Okay? Contact me, reach out to me. I'll connect you to the right folks, and that way you'll know, okay? That way you'll know right off the bat, and everything will be disclosed. But anyway, guys, I'm having some fun. We just had a meeting today, this afternoon. Great meeting. It's on a different topic that I'll probably talk about another day with my wife, but people need that too. So it's a great need. Over 80% of Americans don't have what I'm talking about and what I have. And every time somebody dies, it's the same old story. And it's time for a change. Anyway, guys, love each and every one. Sunday morning's coming up. Mass is coming up. Fellowship is coming up. Worship is coming up. Let's get all prepared to worship in spirit and in truth with great joys in our heart. Let's look out for our brothers and sisters. Not look at a fur, but look at where they stand in need of, as Christ looked to see where we stand in need of. And this is what we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. This is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, a.k.a. Beast Mode, signing off. You all have a good day, good evening, and good night. Airborne out.